Hi, my name is Chelsea Bonini, and I am very happy to have been asked to contribute a video for the voter guide for Innovate Public Schools for my race this November 3rd, which is for the San Mateo County Board of Education, the Area 4 seat, but it is a county-wide election, so all voters in San Mateo County weigh in this race. So the first question that we were asked to address was, how will we advance equity in our district? And since it's a county Board of Education, how will I advance equity in the county? And there are many equity gaps in the county, from achievement all the way back to funding and various other things. There is a $15,000 to $20,000 funding gap between students in the highest funded versus lowest funded school districts. And there are other services that flow from those gaps that lead to disparities in educational outcomes. One of the ideas that I have is that we need to work together to find a regional solution for funding above and beyond what we might do to advocate for additional funding at the state level or even for our own districts, that we might be able to bring together and use economies of scale to potentially have funding sources that are dedicated, that are sustainable, that we work for as an entire county, perhaps advocating alongside the Board of Supervisors or other local leaders, so that we might pass taxes or parcel taxes or bonds that would support the entire county on an equitable basis. So that's one thought. That could be for general funds, for teacher salaries, or for facilities, maybe teacher housing. We also need to prioritize inclusive educational communities if we're going to address equity issues in our county. And in doing so, we need to make an effort to educate all of our kids with respect, without bias, and become accountable for providing school-based mental health resources and supports, and ultimately disrupt the school-to-prison pipeline by addressing many of the harmful policies and practices that are disproportionately affecting our marginalized communities. So providing additional opportunities, focusing on inclusion, and really paying attention to the accountability to doing well for all of our students, those are the ways we impact equity in our county. And that's what I hope to do if I'm elected. In regard to distance learning, that was the second question, how I would support quality distance learning during this time, and also when we return to school and the potential academic gaps that exist. There is a lot of effort going on right now to meet the needs of students through distance learning. Our teachers are going above and beyond and providing these lessons and curriculum in a distance fashion. However, it has proven to be highly inequitable for many groups. Students with disabilities aren't able to get the services that they need necessarily, and other students who have second language needs and other just other needs that are very difficult, or they're just not of the student personality to be able to engage and interact and learn lessons through a computer. There are inherently gaps that are growing. There are already the gaps that we talked about before in terms of funding that contributed at the outset of distance learning to devices and connectivity, and certain communities having more of that to start than others. So as we work our way through this very strange time and try to navigate this, my feeling is that we need really to focus on the strengths of the students. What are they able to access through distance learning? Allow them to try to feel successful, support their mental health needs, support their families, support the basic needs that they no doubt have during this time. And then when we return, our amazing teachers can take on the task, and I'm sure they will do it wholeheartedly, of figuring out where we are, where the students are, and meeting them where they are, and moving forward in a fashion that will support them in as equitable a manner as we can. So those are some of the ideas, or the answers, I should say, to the questions that were posed that I wanted to share with you. And thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of the Voter Information Guide.